All right, we're live, y'all. Hi, Teressa. How are you?
Hey, thank you for everybody that's joining us. I can't see that side of the world yet. Maybe I'll pull it up on my other computer so I can follow along. But thank you, Andrew, for having us here tonight. I'm so excited to see everything that's going on and to participate in your performance and the social justice. I know we're celebrating 100 days of Black Lives Matter solidarity, and the media has been inundating our networks asking how we feel about it. And we're just proud and thankful to everybody that continues to show up in solidarity to liberate our community and to fight for a better future for all of us. So thank you. Continue getting into good trouble and continue resisting and fighting back. So don't forget to know your rights. Um, Let me find where we are real quick so I can join us on the other end.
Yes. And now we have visual. Da, 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 da. So good to see you. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Thank you, Teressa, for allowing me this platform and sharing your platform. This artist for Teressa Raiford for the Write In Raiford campaign has just been so cool. And it's like really an honor to get here. What, like 2 years after we met, little 2 years after we met, we sat out front of that coffee shop and just chatted and got to know each other. And now, like, where we've come and where we're at is just so incredible. Uh-oh.
We're
Let
better.
go. And
I
my
love
set
it.
is falling down. Look, see, you know what? This is what happens when we're just trying to survive under capitalism. They give us inaccessible technology and a whole bunch of nonsense and expect us to do shit. And look at us, we're still going through. So, do we have a loud feedback on everybody's end, or is that just on my end? We're good. All right, word. Awesome. So, I guess everyone just gets to see my bedroom today. That's going to be great. Welcome to Tolly's bedroom. My name is Tolly. If you don't know who I am, Tolly. I live in Portland currently. I'm from Arizona. I am a musician, a singer, songwriter, and I'm really happy to be here to share a little bit of music. I just put out 2 albums. One is my Stuck EP, which is a little EP that came out because of coronavirus. And it was just sort of some songs and some themes that bubbled up inside of me and came out. I wasn't really expecting on putting out that album. And then I just dropped my first full-length album as Tolly, called Kiteboy, Kiteboy. You can find that on all major streaming platforms. And yeah, so I'm just gonna do like a little bit of music. Maybe I can do like a couple of songs, and then we can pop back in and talk about the write-in campaign, and then I'll do a couple more songs. Y'all, all right, word. Let's see if I can get myself all set up. I want to be like Mariah Carey, elusive chanteuse microphone situation. Let's see what we can get going. Because I had a beautiful setup, and then capitalism. So let's see. Okay, so I'm just gonna open with the opening track to Kite Boy. It's called The Magnanimous and Electrifying Return of the Kite Boy. And the whole theme of the album is taking a leap of faith into self-exploration, even when the world is telling you not to do that. So I grew up in a very conservative area where my queerness was not necessarily something that I felt I could safely practice or explore. And I'm now 30 years old and just now figuring out what my non-binary queer identity is. And I know that I'm not alone in that. So if you've ever seen the show United States of Tara, you might catch a little reference. If not, then you don't get the reference, and that's okay. So we're just going to keep it moving. I miss the city for the crowd. Think I miss the heavens for the clouds. Miss the body for the pounds. Lack of me was a lack of wings, and I felt it was my fault, of course. But who told you it was okay to let me in so close? Knew that I needed to breathe, so you stopped kissing me. You know, these pockets of broken bones, the decay they pander, and the propaganda. Look, no strings, nothing but the breeze. I'll fly. I'll be the last one standing, and you won't believe your eyes. I'll be the last one standing, and you won't believe your eyes. Think I missed the magic for the motion, when I traded my mountains for an ocean to be placed on the continents I thought I knew so well. Feet knew that the ground was shifting, my hips tightened and my perspective twisted, and I stopped believing in the existence of straighter lines. And I know you always something to prove. Hands to the sky, waving all your truth. But I can't read the signs. No, and you know me. Always something to prove. Hands to the sky and barefoot on the roof. Only thing that could touch me is atmosphere. And I'll fly. I'll be the last one standing, and you won't believe your eyes. This next song is called Skywalker. It's about ego. It's about dangerous optimism. Stay dangerous, y'all. Your little black dress, so cliche, so passe, always tired. Oh man, y'all, hold on. There's a weird feedback going on my end, and I cannot hear my song. I want to make sure I'm on beat and doing well for y'all, so give me 1 sec. I was probably off beat on the last song too, because I just noticed that this has been going on. BRB. While I'm doing this and you can't see me, I just wanted to remind everybody that you should write in Teressa Raiford for Portland mayor. Why should you do that? That's such a good question. Well, first of all, because we don't need white people telling us how to fix the problems that white people cause. So to think that anybody is just going to come out and be the white savior and break the streak of white supremacy is fooling ourselves. Number one. So let's just like put that on the table. White supremacy is everywhere. It's everything you think it is. It's not just racism, it's ableism, it's fat phobia, it's classism, it's transphobia, it's binary thinking, it is the prison industrial system, it is people in California fighting fires for $1 a day. It's a lot of different things, and it's a lot of pervasive, disgusting energy that white people aren't going to notice. Everything that I know, everything I'm repeating, I learned. I didn't grow up experiencing this, knowing this. I grew up being someone who practiced white supremacy in the ways that I was overly religious and overly Republican and closed off to myself. I was a white supremacist to myself, to my family, to the people that were my friends that I now look back and realize had a lot of patience with me. And so for us to even be where we're at, to have white people included in the dialogue, we shouldn't be taking that lightly and thinking that now we know things and should be speaking over anybody. So right now when we're voting, don't let anybody tell you what your vote should be because of what it's gonna become. This is what your vote is. If you vote for this person, you're really voting for this person. No, actually, you are voting and you're exercising your voice. Your voice. If you have the ability to vote and you want to vote, then you should fucking go and vote for whoever you want, whatever you believe in, and make sure that you know what you believe in and that you are voting not only for yourself, but for your community and the people around you. Because we all want education. We all want clean water. We all want food. We all want a place to live. We all want to be able to believe in the gods we want to believe. So why does that have to be rooted in white supremacy and oppression? We can be voting for community, for mutual aid, for knowing your neighbors, for knowing who else is voting, for knowing that other people are voting for those same values, not because they go to the same church as you or the same synagogue as you, the same temple as you, the same food store as you, whatever. It's the people that live miles away that have a completely different mindset. But because we're all voting and believing in our communities and what we can do for ourselves, that's where the game changer is, not in these itty bitty policies that they're getting us lost in. You need to get in the real meat. Let's talk about the two people in this runoff campaign and how they came out and got a little 31 flavors pink sample spoon of some tear gas and decided that none of those flavors were for them and left the ice cream shop. And a bunch of us are drowning in ice cream that none of us asked for. You can't just come down for a photo op, get your little pink spoon of tear gas, and expect to speak for a whole fucking community that's been out there for 100 days, and 100 years, and 100 years before that, and 100 years before that, and 100 years before that, and 100,000 years before that. Don't erase that history. Don't pretend like that little pink spoon is enough. And if all you got is that little spoon, then you better be fucking thankful that all you had was other silver spoons in your mouth so long that all you got to have was that little pink spoon. And some people don't even get the pink spoon. Oh, sorry, Teressa, I'm talking a lot.
No, I was just saying there's privilege in being able to take off your shirt and leave the protest and not experience the same trauma of vicious violence, the state oppression. But a lot of us don't get to walk away from it. We don't get to sit and contemplate what we want to do about it. And when we're speaking about it, it's not for exploitation, it's for action. And the fact that we still haven't heard any actionable planning from either one of these people that will appear on the ballot, that's the part that's harming me because I'm like, the work that we're doing as a community is outstanding and the world is watching, and the possibilities of engaging and building social change through the type of mechanisms that we've developed as a community. Why wouldn't the leaders be looking for support from our engagement? And the fact that they're, perpetrating leadership and not knowing how to even engage with us, that's the scary part. And we have to do something about it. I don't think anybody that's been on the front line or any of the people that have witnessed what we've all witnessed is willing to go backwards. We're not going back to business as usual. We're not going to fix things so that we can be back where we were. We're making change happen now.
Yes. Absolutely. Right now. Right now. We literally can. We literally can. How did we get 15,000 people in downtown Portland and people tell us we don't know how to activate the community? How do we get, how do we have these actions coming up on Saturday and Sunday and Monday all over the city? Don't tell us we don't know how to activate and take care of our community. When we have free food, we got medical supplies, we have everything out there. When I was arrested, that went viral before I was even Mirandized. Like, the community shows up for each other. That jail support shows up for each other. Like, we have mutual aid for people all over the city. Like, we don't need anything else. We got it. And we are so good at de-escalating safety concerns in front of people at all of these events too. We're so good at it. People think they're gonna come and like hype us up, and we like de-escalate, educate, and then keep it moving. And they're like, "How did you do that?" Like, yeah, it's insane. So it's not insane because that's ableist. It's wonderful to see. I love to see it. So I don't know if this music is gonna work. So I wonder if maybe I could do like one or two like a cappella, like just to sing, cause it's singing. And then if y'all want to hear music, then you can go and listen to my album. Again, it's called Kiteboy. It is available on all major streaming platforms. There's no excuse. You, yes you, can find Tolly's music, and you can share it with a friend. And while you're listening to it, you can type in your Google, Teressa Raiford, and be like, what's this platform? What's this woman all about? And you can see decades of badass work for you to be more comfortable in this city. And by the way, I did want to add too, the way that we know that we're doing so much good in this city is because we see time and time again over the last 100 days that centrist and liberal and other movements will try to come in and try and co-opt and distract from the amazing progress that we are making. Do not let anyone co-opt this fucking progress that was started on the steps of the Justice Center by a black mother and will continue through the black women and femmes in this community and around the world. Thank you very much. Okay, so shoot, I gave the interpreters a set list that now I cannot follow because I don't have my music. So, okay, so interpreters, I'm gonna do Skywalker really quick, just a little a cappella version, and then I'm gonna do another song that's like super chill. You can definitely follow along. Sorry, I'll pay you extra. And by the way, if you're a musician and you're watching this, this is what accessibility looks like. This is what inclusion looks like. I'm a sign language interpreter by day and a performer by night. And that doesn't mean that I have deaf friends by day and not deaf friends by night. I have deaf friends all the time. So they're going to be involved. And if you would like them to be involved, let me know. fingerscrossedinterpreting@gmail.com. All right, so this song is called Skywalker. It's supposed to have beautiful music behind it. You can listen to it on my EP called Stuck, which is also available on all major streaming platforms. Let's see how I can get this set up. Okay. Get these next to each other. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's see. Your little black dress, so cliche, so passé, always tied to distress. Your sideways thread, so full, so organized, the cursive of your hook, and there's a smell in the air like lavender and obstinance. There's a feeling that you're feeling aggravated. Well, you've been treating me like a GT California. You never want to ride, and I just want to fly. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna put some miles on these bones. I'm gonna leave. Gonna burn some rubber on the breeze. Yeah, I'm gonna go, go. I know you don't believe me, but I'm gonna swallow this pride and give my body to the high. Well, ooh, Skywalker, flying free. No, well, ooh, Skywalker. So high in the sky, I've got rubber ants and apple pie calling me Daddy. You're a splash of granity. You're too hard to go down, but you do somehow. You're a needle in my crown. You're so odd and in control, but too benign to make me proud. And there's an aura in the air like creosote and epiphany. And it's not a feeling, it's a little more like anti-gravity. Well, you've been calling all my bluffs out of their name, baby. But you won't scream mine, and well, I don't mind, no, no, so I'm gonna go, go. I'm gonna put some miles on these bones, yeah. I'm gonna leave, leave. Gonna burn some rubber on the breeze, yeah. I'm gonna go, oh, I know you don't believe me, but I'm gonna swallow this pride and give my body to the high. Well, Skywalker, flying free, flying free. Well, ooh, Skywalker, so high in the sky, I've got rubber ants and apple pie calling me. Ooh, I'm gonna find a new crowd. Yeah, 'cause I need something real. I need something now. Yeah, go. Gonna put some miles on these bones. I'm gonna leave, leave. Gonna burn some rubber on the breeze. Yeah, I'm gonna go, go. No, you don't believe me. But I'm gonna swallow this pride and give my body to the highway. Yeah, oh, Skywalker, flying free, flying free. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, Skywalker, I'm so high in the sky. I got rubber ants and apple pie calling me Daddy. Cool. So that's that song. It's really pretty with the music behind it. Hope you enjoyed it a cappella. So I'm gonna do another song that's actually not on either of my albums. It's actually on an old album, my first album that is also available on all major streaming platforms. I used to go under the name Andrew Tolman and the Dirty Gentleman, ATTDG. The Dirty Gentleman was just like a reference to these sort of like characters that lived in my head that I wrote the album about. And so it was like me plus all of them. So this song originally was really upbeat and exciting, and then on the album it turned into like a car crash, like edge of death song. So that's cool. But the acoustic version, I think I'm just gonna do it upbeat because it's initially an upbeat song. Yeah. So I don't even remember what it was called on that other album because it came out a long time ago. But that's fine. You should just go look up that album. It's called The Dirty Gentleman. And it's really good, but it's not as good as my newest stuff. And maybe you can find the song on that album and then let me know what it's called and prove that you listened to it. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's called it's called Love Song on a Twisted Wire because it was initially a little love song with an acoustic guitar, like a little twisted wire. So, okay, here we go. Hit the end of the road, left our bodies to the dust. Needless blame settle deep in our gut. When I forget how to fight, you remind me. When hurricane waves meet hungry flames, get lifted in the steam with me. 'Cause all we have left is this. Promise you the moon, I'll keep my word to you. Get lifted in the steam with me. 'Cause all we have left is this. Oh, the mountains moved to believe in you. Oh, the mountains that are moved. Oh, the crazy things I do for you. Aren't we all just a little twisted deep, deep down? When hurricane waves meet hungry flames, get lifted in the steam with me. 'Cause all we have left is this. Promise you the moon, I keep my word to you. Get lifted in the steam with me. 'Cause all we have left is this. And hurricane waves meet hungry flames, get lifted in steam with me. 'Cause all we have left is this. Promise you the moon, I keep my word to you. Get lifted in the steam with me. 'Cause all we have left is this. Cool. I can hear you all clapping on the other side of your screens. It's so amazing. Thank you. I can hear it. So Teressa, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Would you mind, because I noticed that the Right in Raiford campaign recently put out an infographic that showed upcoming events, campaign, action promises, etc. And one of those things that was on there that is unique to what I have seen you put out compared to the other two people is explicit language for deaf and disability access, including ASL interpreters and live captioning at events and basically everything associated with City Hall. Would you mind maybe going into a little bit of detail about what informed those decisions and like how you envision that going when you are Portland's next mayor?
Absolutely. And let me just go all the way back to, let's say, Occupy. When Occupy was going down, my friend Paul West, he's passed away since, but he had ASL at the time and became very restricted in regards to where he could travel and how he could get places. And when the uprising happened, and the fact that I was at home and kind of advocating and organizing as well, he was empowered. He's seen all this hope for our community. And he was like, oh, wow, I've been waiting for this, and he would pump so much into my head about what kind of greatness we could do with all this ability to organize and seeing people come together. But one of the things that hurt me was I had to check in with him all the time and talk to him about what was happening, because at the time they weren't utilizing captions on YouTube. I would go to Portland Community Media, which is now Open Signal, and I would use people there, and I would try to go ahead and put the description in our videos because I had that power. But I would always wonder, like, why aren't you making this accessible for everybody? I would always ask the city leaders, why weren't they investing in more agency outside of City Hall so that they could gather input from different communities that might not be available and accessible in the spaces the way that they were. And it became more and more because in the work that I do, Don't Shoot Portland, a lot of the people, they don't always die of the shootings or the fatal violence that's happening to them. There's a lot of survivors that are here. And when you want the most vulnerable voices on the record, you need to think about accessibility. And we begged for it. I think it was in 2017, after the death of Quantas Hayes, and after I found out about Christopher Kalanji and a couple of other people, including Terrell Johnson, and what exactly was going on in their lives as people with disabilities. I wanted to make sure that we were fully inclusive at our marches, the MLK March in particular, because of the issues that Reverend King had that people physically could not see. that could become deliberating. And also my own situation of becoming sick and having like a 7 pound tumor in my stomach and not being able to physically showing up, but also just feeling the guilt of not showing up and still making it there. So we built some guidelines that we made very extensive, and we worked with the disability community and other communities that are care providers for people that don't have accessibility access. And we put together an extensive guideline. And I think that a lot of communities respected that. They were like, oh, wow, even if you don't know how to do this, you're looking to us for the leadership. And
Right.
you're willing to utilize your platform as a nonprofit to bring in whatever referrals or whatever resources or volunteers is necessary. And part of what people do understand about that work is that we try to make it the standard. Like, even if the patriarchal system, the bureaucratic system says that they can't provide accessibility, we show the actionable standard so
Mhm.
that they have to create that opportunity for us. And that's a lot of what Dr. King was teaching us anyway back in the day. And we know he was assassinated for being what we would call today radical in that way. But it's a shame that it would take us this long to be able to put it in the center in order to uplift the oppression that people have suffered because of the inaccessible access to civic participation. It's a shame. And I mean, I'm thankful that the campaign, which I'm actually not organizing and developing, has featured and is seeking that type of resource and building, because it is a mandate that I'm not going to play with. I mean, there's no way that we're going to wait for commissioners to vote on something that we know takes the political will of people that are engaged. Like, they want the votes, but you need leaders that are going to be reliable and competent enough to help them articulate what it takes to make those standards law. And we'll get there. I promise you. We're almost there.
Yeah.
It's a shame that we have to go through so much violence to get there, though.
It they they have really shown their hand.
Hmm.
We gave one last chance. I feel like this police budget discussion that happened this year, there's a couple other milestones where we really could have seen some change, and it was squandered. I mean, I even remember having city officials tell me that the accessibility fund had run out of money, and so that's why accessibility wasn't at certain events. And I'm wondering how much my personal arrest cost the city of Portland to process me, put all of that effort in, pay for all those people to be there overnight, call the fire department to treat my wounds, and then to later potentially drop the case and have to, I mean, I want to know what the cost is for one person to get arrested versus how much that money could be used for accessibility
And
or
and the
meal.
fact of the matter, and the fact of the matter is that when we talk about police violence and police brutality and in custody murders here in the city of Portland, the numbers for people with disabilities that they've harmed, that they've battered, that they've assaulted, those are the injuries that developed into lawsuits, into
Yes.
federal lawsuits, into lawsuits with Judge Simon's office, that COAP, and all this oversight that we have now is because of that. So that should have been on the first, that should have been in the beginning. Even those COAP meetings, those community meetings that were supposed to be public and accessible to the public and supposed to be so engaging were not accessible for the
Hmm.
public. They wouldn't even provide information ahead of time to let the public even know what was going on. There was no resource information so that people could be read up on the things that were going to be discussed. They cared not. The fact that they've been able to show their hands so much and so clearly in the last 100 days. I told a reporter, I think from the New York Times today, I said, she was like, do you think that y'all have won? I said, yeah, absolutely. I said, because in 100 days, they've been able to show and address every situation that people have talked about for generations.
Yes.
They've shown everything to not be for us, for it not to be in vain. Like, now you have to deal with that. The fact that you have no protocol, you have no process, you don't care about people. It is on the record. It is policy not to mandate or mitigate our lives as some people that should be valued. Like, it's on the record now. The only thing we can do is deconstruct it because there's no reforming something that actually exists to oppress us.
Absolutely. And it takes the engagement too. I think a lot of people will, in government or policymakers will assume, I can only speak for the deaf community and things that I've seen and talked with my friends about. And obviously, I do not speak for the deaf community. I just am repeating things, conversations I've had with friends of mine about. And accessibility, kind of creates this atmosphere of, well, if it's not for me, then I'm not going to keep going. I'm not going to exhaust myself to try and break into this thing that clearly doesn't want me. So I think sometimes too, like oversight boards or meetings or policies are formed with the assumption that the community at large is, one, informed on even what we're talking about, two, engaged and cares about it and knows how that applicably applies to them, or three, is even on their top list of their immediate needs. And a lot of times those policies and those discussions aren't actually helping the people on the ground. And
Oh no. I mean, they get policy wonks that know how to edit and literally translate the issues into exactly what the buyers want, not the people that are going to deal with the outcomes. And
right.
so we call that propaganda. We call that false advertising. We call it rhetoric. We call it bullshit.
Call it bullshit.
Politics is bullshit, and there's a lot of it. One of the reasons that we do a lot of protests, determined and strategically, is because we want to get these demands on the record and we want to get what's happening on the record. We want to see and show community that policy is a word for covering up shit. People get mad at me for not clearly stating my political goals when they know that I want to undermine the political infrastructure and dismantle it. And it's funny because, when you get like a trial attorney to write up your platform so that you don't seem like you're an anarchist when anyone should be an anarchist, everyone that is an anti-fascist in the world today and understands what fascism means and what it stands up for is not going to be supported by any form of capitalism, whether it's a patriarchal capitalism or whether it's coming from BIPOC communities. Capitalism won't save us. Community engagement will. Being informed and educated on the issues and having engagement with people that are courageous enough and have that political will to engage you so they can make change. That all they want is your directives. Everybody that I organize knows I want to hear what you're doing, what's going on, and how we can affect that because it's obvious you have more insight than I do, whatever level of organizing I'm on. Right. So if you come in and you're like, hey, I'm the doer and the decider, that's some George Bush shit. That's some Trump shit. That's some Ted Wheeler shit. And we don't need that shit. We don't need Sarah. We don't need Ted. We need community engagement. And we need proven access to community because one of the things that I've seen over the last 100 days is community appointed leaders, selected leaders promoting that they're engaged with the community, but the engaged community is sitting there saying, who are these people? Mm-hmm. They don't, represent my views. I mean, we've seen the parade of hypocrites and gatekeepers standing up with the mayor over the last 90 days, over the last 100 days, basically highlighting the emphasis of their nepotistic and cronyistic relationships. And they do not serve us.
So I want to ask too, if I may, because one thing that I feel like, well, from what I can tell from just interacting with you and from interacting with your campaign previously and now the Right in Raiford movement, seems to me like it's not so much that Teressa Raiford wants to be mayor. It's that Teressa Raiford knows what it takes to lead a city forward and has ideas on bringing more people into the government, and that the job of mayor is a way for you to accomplish that. Would that be a fair characterization of your goal, or would you mind maybe amending it?
I mean, it's pretty much that. I grew up when Bud Clark was the mayor, right? We had this guy out exposing himself to art, figuring out ways to support small businesses and build political engagement for communities that were left behind. And to me, that's what it takes to build community. You have to be invested in the community and their livability, their outcomes, not just, one relationship, whether it's like the biking community or the business community. The community is the community at large. When we talk about at-risk, marginalized, and vulnerable communities, that is the beat of the money that's coming into the city's coffers. And the fact that those people are not being engaged in all of the different issues that monetize our city budgets, our infrastructure, our partnerships, that's the shame. That means that we're clearly exploiting them. And the fact that we're so behind here in Oregon, where we're leading the nation in suicides and unhoused families, and our children being incarcerated and in foster care, that means that the hustle is real, and we need to start indicting these leaders. We need to start really holding people accountable. I don't think we're in a time period where we can sit back and say, okay, let's take the lesser of two evils, or
Mm.
let's see what happens because I already know who this person is. We have to get functional as a society, elect people, and hold them accountable by continuously being engaged.
Word. Word. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. So maybe I'll do one more song that's kind of on theme of what we're talking about. It's called Freedom. So that's perfect. And then we can do a little like closeout, and then I'll let you get your rest. And I just appreciate your presence on this feed and just being here, the opportunity to get to engage with you like this. It's not something that you and I get to do often. We're always working together and we're always running, and getting to chat with you the other day and then here now too, like, means the world. I just love getting to like people with you. So just thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you again for the opportunity to sing for you and to sing for this movement, and just do whatever I can to support.
Well, I love you and I honor you and thank you for everything. The work is not easy and it takes courage. And I've seen it in you forever. And I know it's going to only get better. We got this.
You got this. Yes. Yes. I had another song that I was going to sing for you tonight, Roses, because I always remember that we are the roses.
Yes.
Yes. But I'll just drop it in the comments of the video and people can hear it in its full glory. But it's a beautiful song about giving roses to people while they're here. And I think that kind of ties into to what we're talking about. And especially now in this movement, we've been fighting for 100 days straight, and the system is still killing us and still killing our siblings and is still killing the Black community on camera, and is still attacking people on camera and doing nothing about it. And if you aren't taking this seriously now, and you aren't giving people their roses while they are here, then we may miss that chance. So please, please use conversations like this to engage anybody that you can about things that you care about, and people, the way that Teressa and I got to people tonight and do music and chat and have everything go wrong and still create something beautiful. Y'all can do that too, so please do that. So the last song I'm going to sing tonight is called Freedom. It is the last song from my Stuck EP. This part of the song was actually inspired by my friend who performs under the stage name Baba Youssef. And they are just light personified. They are energy personified, and this just like pure mortality, just in all perfections and errors and everything. They're just such a beautiful human. And the way that we interact and call each other sibling and the things that we hope for together kind of inspired this song, and conversations that I've had with other people. So the chorus of the song is, we have freedom right on our fingertips. Keep running, gotta keep running. And I feel like that is a sentiment that has hopefully never felt more true than in this movement right now. I hope that people really feel like we have some tangibility of some sort of freedom right on our fingertips, because we do. I talked to my roommate today about if there's like a big spider in your house. Obviously, I don't like endorse killing spiders. You should put it outside. Spiders are beautiful. They're the weavers of language. But in a freak out every once in a while, you might spray a spider with something, or like freak out, and it does that thing where it jumps and it's like, ah, and it'll jump onto stuff and it'll do whatever. That's like white supremacy in America right now. It's like a spider getting sprayed with bleach, and it's just like, ah! And Ted Wheeler is like, ah, my poor building, violence, and ah! And like he's just a little bleach spider, and he like is on the way out. So keep fighting. They're gonna keep trying to break us because we're doing the right thing. Keep listening to the community. Don't get lost in confusion. Just think about abolition, think about indigenous sovereignty, think about black liberation, think about how all of that is intersectional with any other oppression that we see, and that can always be your guiding light through all of the nonsense that's happening. The ever-changing dynamics of a movement are hard to follow, especially if you're new. But if you are centering indigenous sovereignty and black liberation in everything that you're doing and decentering yourself, especially white people, like white to white, I'm telling you, it's not about us. Everything I said tonight, I learned. I did not know this. It was taught to me, it was given to me, and I will repeat it till the day I die. So, this song is called Freedom. Obviously no music, unfortunately, but please, again, look up my music. My name is Tolly, Tolly. You can find me on iTunes, kind of, because they've messed up my sorting. But Spotify, it's all in one spot. I've got some club mixes in there. One of them's called Eat the Rich. I have a music video coming out soon. Keep an eye out for that. Write in Teressa Raiford, TeressaRaiford. Again, TeressaRaiford. You gotta spell it right for it to count. If you need help, go with a friend, practice it in line, you know, do what you gotta do. Remember it, okay? I think you can still take a guide in the voting. Oh, you know what? Mail-in voting. Fuck, vote from home, Google it. You know how to spell it, okay? So, this song's called Freedom. Thank you, Teressa. Thank you, Write in Raiford campaign, for having me. Thank you, Amanda and Carly from Fingers Crossed Interpreting, for being here tonight, making the music accessible. And here we go. I pray for a stronger tomorrow. I pray for my siblings and borrow the time that I can from the hand that I cannot deny on my shoulder, light as a boulder, reminding me I gotta see more than what I see. Usually in front of me. Well, who would I be? What would I need if I was born next door? If I was born in the middle of a war? Well, turns out you're not just fighting for yourself. You're supposed to be fighting the good fight for everybody else. We got freedom. We got freedom right on our fingertips, baby. Well, keep running, gotta keep running. We got freedom. We got freedom right on our fingertips, baby. Well, keep running, gotta keep running. Well, a reminder to unclench your jaw. A reminder the internet is not culture. It's a vulture that we welcome onto our tender meat, baby. You're too much of a treat for that. You're surrounded by nothing but snacks. We're the culture. Don't all these flavors taste so sweet together? The universe on your tongue. The chance of a lifetime to live for once. All it takes is rebellion. All it takes is rebellion. All it takes is a hellion who wants to taste just a little bit more. That freedom, babe. We got freedom right on our fingertips, baby. Well, keep running, gotta keep running. We got freedom. We got freedom right on our fingertips, baby. Well, keep running, gotta keep now. They don't own us, we own them. Don't take the bait, just take their heads. Sharpen the blades, sharpen your senses. They're building walls, but we're building defenses. This shit is real. This shit is real. I could say it again and again cause I mean it. But do not feel defeated. Turn your thorns to swords and bloom towards the light and smile. Find the joy that simply is. This is now, not a status. What you give is what you get. So say a prayer and take that, take that. Take that. Well, take that freedom. Yeah. Take it now, baby. Yeah. Don't you know we got freedom? Woo! We got freedom right on our fingertips, baby. Well, keep running, gotta keep running. We got freedom. We got freedom right on our fingertips, baby. Well, keep running, gotta keep running. We got freedom, 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 freedom. Keep running, gotta keep now. Thanks, everybody. One last time, my name is Tolly. Write in Teressa Raiford for Portland Mayor this November. If you have any questions, look up the Write in Raiford campaign on Facebook, on Instagram, on Google. You can find me there as well. You should follow both of us. You should share both of our stuff. You should download my music. You should support everything Don't Shoot Portland does. And if you're going to vote for Ted Wheeler or Sarah Ionarone, talk to me, because you might be making the wrong choice. Black Lives Matter. I love you all, everybody. Have a good night.